prepared speech. The second is the table topic speeches, in which I, as the table topic master, will ask you some questions, and I will give you 10 seconds to think about that question or that sentence, and we'll need you to make a speech for 2 minutes. This is to test your spontaneity and to help us practice with our speech, impromptu speeches. And after that, there's the evaluation evaluation session, and we'll also vote on who is the best speaker, who is the best prepared speaker for the day, and also who is the best table topic speaker for today. And so, after making this introduction, I will give the control to Busrina as the general evaluator. The floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ardin. Okay, hello, fellow Toastmasters, and my warm welcome to all of our guests for today. For the benefit of all of us, I am the general evaluator for today, and I conduct the evaluation portion of our meeting. I will be calling on a team to assist me with giving feedback to our speakers, and I will evaluate the meeting as well. Help me welcome our first prepared speech, which is Pak Sidik, and also Mas Fitrian, who is going to be our second speaker for today. And now we will welcome my team. My first member is our timer, Mr. Vico. Mr. Vico, could you please explain to us what is your role? You can simply read your script.
Okay. The file is greetings, Mr. and Madam Toastmaster. That's the script, right? Fellow Toastmaster and guest as timer. I will time the table topics, speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluation. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Table topic. Wait. I lost my. Okay. Just wait. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card, and at 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech time. Icebreaker speech should be 4 until 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Most other speeches should be 5 until 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluation should be between 2 and 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you, Mr. and Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vico, for that lovely explanation. I am sure, even though this is your first time as the timer, I think you can do this job very well.
Yeah,
and now let's move on to our counter, Mr. Fatrian.
Yes.
Could you please explain your role just simply by reading the script? Thank you.
Thank you. Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The purpose of the counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including am, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fatrian, for that explanation. Okay. And yes, for today's, we have our evaluator also, individual evaluator. We have Mas Ardin, who's going to be the first prepared speech evaluator, the evaluator for Pak Sidik. And we have Pak Sidik, who's going to evaluate Mas Ardin's speech. Okay, you both are just going to collaborate with one another. Okay, so I think that's all, Mas Ardin. I will give control return to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Serena. It's a pleasure to hear the explanations. So right now, I will welcome Mr. Sidik, to give the first prepared speech with the title "Ignorance Can Kill." Okay, and I will be the evaluator for that speech. Thank you very much. I give the floor to you, and Mr. Vico, please get ready with the timing.
Okay, 5 until 7 minutes, right?
Yes, by 5 minutes, please raise a green card. By 6 minutes, yellow card, and 7 minutes, that's the red card.
Okay.
Okay, the floor is yours, Mr. Muhammad Sidik. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Fardin, for the time. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters. Today is my second time being the prepared speech. I do hope that this is better than the first one. And the topic right now, I will bring the ignorance can kill. Yeah, the title is quite provocative and maybe sensitive, but I don't want to make it hard for you guys because actually this is my my experience, but I want to make it more formal. I don't know how to deliver this speech, but let me try. Okay, by statistic, 93% of crashes investigated in the highway accidents caused by human factors. I took this data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration of the United States. And I do think this is relevant also in Indonesia. Focus on the numbers, 93% of the accidents is caused by human, not because of the lack of quality of the roads, not because of lack of signal, along the way, but because of the human behavior, like excessive speed, inattentive during driving. So this is the fact. What do you think? Do you think people don't know the rules and the regulation and how to drive safely? Maybe not, because if they don't know the rules and the regulation and they don't know the policy, I think they don't have the right to get the license, right? It's simply because they ignore all the rules and the regulation. Ignorance. Ignorance described as a person in the state of being unaware. So you can simply call somebody ignorance if they are not aware of something important out there. So if you don't know anything that is currently discussed, and especially if there is a regulation or rules out there, you need to be proactive and need to know about it, and you have to comply. And today, actually, I want to relate this topic to the current situation, which is COVID-19. Mass ignorance out there help COVID-19 spread faster than it should be. You can see that today, top biggest country with biggest cases is USA with 34 million cases, India 31 cases, and Brazil about 16 million cases. You know what did President Trump do when COVID-19 first spread in the world and reached his country? Instead of being precautions, he kept blaming China that because the origin of the virus is from China, right? And it doesn't help. It makes worse because the president directly or indirectly could influence how the people react. You can see there is a chaos situation there in the US, especially now there is a racism because of the race, like Chinese look people is being beaten, and just because they think they are the source of the COVID-19. Okay, I would not discuss about the COVID-19 situation here in Indonesia because it's sometimes every issue in Indonesia becoming a political issue. So I don't want to be a pro-cons topic here because sometimes it will rise a previous issue like government or the elections. We know it's already, right? Okay. The ignorance for COVID-19, I divided into two main issues. It's the one first is from the government, the regulatory side, and the second one is from the public itself. From the regulatory, I give you already the example like the president could make it worse, and maybe the unclear policy like on-off lock or lockdown or not. Yeah, those kind of issues. And the second one is public. But actually, people can make it better if we do not influence by those kind of statements out there, especially from maybe from the government, and the second one maybe from the religious leader. You know, last year I went to the mosque, and the Khatib said that, you know, this kind of conspiracy, yeah, at the Jummah prayer, his speech is like this is a conspiracy because this kind of issue make us people ummah take away from their gods. So I think this kind of statement would make it even worse. So I think this is.
Kaki mama sayang.
Hello. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, there is two main ignorance that could make COVID-19 spread even faster than it should be. So guys, please help. The stay home and stay safe will not fall into a death ears. Thank you very much. That's it from me. Thank you. Stay healthy. Bye.
Thank you very much, Pak Siddiq. Thank you very much for your speech. Okay, so I've already taken some notes as an evaluator. And Mr. Vico, did you also take note of the total time? Hello, Mr. Vico, Vico.
The total time is 8 minutes. 8 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay, please take note of the time, and later on at the end of the session, you will need to share the timings of everyone to to the group, okay? But at the end of the session. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Vico, and thank you very much, Pak Siddiq. That was a great speech, and I hope we all learned something from there. It's a very valuable message for all of us. Okay, so next I'm welcoming Mr. Fatrian to do your prepared speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Ardin. Okay, thank you everyone. My name is Fatrian. Yes, as Ardin mentioned, my title of the speech is the title of my speech is Embracing Ignorance. So I would like to talk about some tips about embracing ignorance, why we should do it, and some practical tips that you can apply to your daily life. So I believe everyone here have ever feel overloaded, because I have, especially during this COVID-19 time. I believe many of us have to juggle multiple things in the same space and at the same time. Kids' school, client's presentation, meal preparation, house chores, all those stuff. A recent survey of workers in more than 40 countries found that more than 2/3, about 69%, reported that they felt burned out, often during the pandemic. This research shows that workplace burnout poses a severe risk to people's mental health. For those of you that have read the book titled The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, some of the materials are coming from that book. So I wanted to provide references to that. For those of you who have experienced multiple burnouts during this pandemic, please read the book. I'm sure it will help. So first, what is ignorance? We can define it as a lack of knowledge or information. Ignorance can be a situation, but more importantly, it can be a choice. And choosing to be ignorant of some specific matters are essential to achieve a quality life. How to embrace ignorance? I have 3 points that I want to make in this speech. First is ignoring non-essential stuff in your life. More is not always better. Remember that 1 bowl of Indomie is always great, but how about 10 bowls of it? Are you still enjoying it the same way as the first one? Remember that the law of diminishing returns always applies. The more we have something, the less we enjoyed it. Second one is ignoring people. Not all people, of course, but toxic and negative people. Social media is full of this type of people. Be careful about this. Be selective in your activity on social media, and always ask yourself, do I have a purpose of spending time for this? Be efficient and mindful as well about your words and action that can impact someone else's life. Ultimately, all human is measured by how much positive impact it has to the others. Third is ignoring things outside your circle of influence and your circle of growth. Act and think about things within these circles only. For example, you have concerns about climate change, but it's impossible that you can directly influence it, right? What you can do is you can join an activist group or a movement where you can spread the words and grow your influence to magnify your voice or impact on the issue. Joining this or doing this kind of activity is allowed. Put this as your growth boundaries. Remember that nothing is free in this world. Remember that nothing is free in this world, and all things at least require one of the most critical resources, which is time. Everybody was given a limited time in this world, and we need to use it wisely. I want to share 3 tips on this as well. First is remember your principles. List out 3 of the most essential things in your life on any given time. Family, work, health, education, whatever it is. Focus on these 3. Delegate other stuff that other people can do. You always had help. For example, wife for your family stuff, classmates for that difficult assignment, or your colleagues for work stuff. Second is limit your social media time. Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter are notorious sources of distraction. Remember that this is for socializing or getting in touch with your friends and families. Never made it your priority. Treat it as a tool only. Use that monitoring application to control and limit your time on social media applications. 3, for professionals, fix the time frame for checking and replying to emails. Limit this to a maximum of 3 per day. 2 is my personal recommendation. So by doing this, you can focus on the essential tasks of your day. Allocating this time frame is also helpful for family life or any situation. Eliminate distraction and focus on the end goals. Choosing to be ignorant is very important, especially on all the things I mentioned before. So I hope that this information is helpful. I'm going to close this speech with a quote from Mark Twain. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. May we all be successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fatrian. That was a very insightful and at the same time a little bit humorous speech. I find myself laughing silently for a couple of aspects of the speech. So that's really, really great.
Yeah.
I especially like the last quote.
Yes.
All you need in life is ignorance and confidence. So thank you very much for your speech. And I see now that we are joined by several other people. That's great. We have Madam Junita and there's Mr. Ius. Hello, it's been some time, sir.
Hi.
There is hi. Hello, there's Mbak Putri also. And Pak Firza is also here. So that's really great. I think Pak Priyanto have some issues with his internet, but hopefully he will return back here. Okay. And I guess that concludes the prepared speech session. Thank you very much for Mr. Siddiq and Mr. Fatrian for the 2 great speeches. By the end of the session, we'll have our timer, Mr. Vico, and our counter, Mr. Fatrian, to share their report. And of course, our general evaluator, Madam Serena, to share the general evaluation of everything by the end of the session. But as of now, we will move on to the second part of the Toastmaster session, which is the table topic session. Okay, so for me, this is very, very interesting. What we are gonna do is we're gonna make a speech, impromptu speech. I'm gonna pick questions and I'm gonna ask each and every one of you randomly, except myself. So that's the benefit of being a table topic master. So I'm gonna ask each and every one of you, hopefully not too difficult questions, and I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to think, only 10 seconds. Okay, and you have to make a speech for 2 minutes. Okay, and Mr. Vico, definitely we will need your help with the timing. Okay, so please take note of everyone's timing. And if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, Madam Serena. By 1 minute 30 seconds. By 1 minute, I think it's the green card, or is it 1 minute 30 seconds?
I already wrote it in the chat box. 1 minute is green, 1:30 is yellow, and 2 minutes it's red. It's red.
Okay. Apologies. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we can refer to the chat box. And yep, that's about it. Any question before we move on with the next section? No question? Okay. So I'm gonna pick a question, and the word of the day today is ignorance. It will be great if you can make a speech with the word ignorance. Okay, let's say, for example, I'm gonna ask you a question about what is your most embarrassing experience, just for example. You will need to be able to tell a story to make a speech about your most embarrassing experience and include there the word ignorance. Maybe something like, oh, I once accidentally wet in my pants because I ignored the urge to properly go to the toilet. Just for example, I'm not saying I wet my pants. No, no, I never did that. All right. So I'm gonna pick a question now. I'm gonna pick randomly one of you, maybe not so randomly. Okay. How about Payus? Would you like to be the first one?
I know you will pick me, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, carry on. Let's do it.
All right. I like that confidence.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the question for you is, what do you wish you spent more time doing 5 years ago? I'm going to repeat the question. What do you wish you spent more time doing 5 years ago? Okay. And don't forget to use the word ignorance.
It's 2 minutes speak, is it? Oh,
Yes. Yes.
we'll just try. It's not easy at all. What? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, start from
10,
now.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The floor is yours.
What would I spend more in 5 years' time? I I love who I am now, actually, probably because it's in a good time for me. That's why I express that. So I would rather to spend more time uh, uh, to do what I have been doing. I think I have done my best. I love my ignorance for certain things. I like what like what Patrian mentioned, that sometimes we need to ignore some of the things which is not important for our life, and I believe that's one of the important things in our life, because sometimes we have to say no to certain things. We have to say yes for the most important things in our life. And again, I just want to spare the time for what I have been doing now. I like who I am now. I like what I'm now. So I think I have done the right things in the past 5 years. That's all. Thank you.
Yay!
Yeah, it's not easy, man. Ooh.
Thank you, Payus. Thank you. That's great. So, next. How about you, Busrina? Would you like to be the next speaker?
Sure. Bring
All
it on.
right, that's great. Okay. I'm going to give you a question now. Okay. What impact do you want to leave on the world?
Wow. Such a
Okay.
grand question.
I'm going to repeat the question. What impact do you want to leave on the world? And you have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The floor is yours, please.
Well, since you give me such a grand questions, I feel like I have to think grand also. If I want to live something in this world, something that can impact the world in a great way, I think I want the world to know me as the greatest listener at all time. In my 40s years of age, I feel like I have found my greatest strength, which is listening. I believe I have the skill to listen to people, and so far I have learned so much just by listening. I also notice that it feels so great knowing that this particular skill can truly help someone. For example, someone came to me and then suddenly out of nowhere starting to tell me about their relationship problem with their spouse. I did not know them that well, but then I choose to listen, not trying to give advice, not trying to suggest anything, just listen. And then when they ended their story, all I need to do is just reflecting, revalidating those feelings they have, and suddenly I can hear them saying, wow, it feels so great talking to you. And for me, that's something. So if you want to know, I truly believe that simply by listening, you can give impact. Maybe we cannot directly thinking on how to impact the world, but you can start it from your small family, from your spouses, from your spouse, just one spouse, and then from your kids, from your friends, from your colleague. I believe that listening is something that I can use to give impact to my world. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Musrina. That was a very lovely speech. Thank you very much. So next, maybe we'll give our timer a chance to speak. What do you think, Mr. Vico? Would you like to try being the next speaker?
I don't think so. I am concentrate in my counting, so I don't hear about the question anymore. Just see the clock and the timer.
Oh no 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 no. What I'm trying to say is, would you like to try and be the next speaker? We can do the
maybe
counting
later.
for you. Okay.
Maybe later. Let me concentrate to my counter.
Okay. 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 How about this? How about our president? Pak Siddiq, would you like to be our next speaker?
Okay, just try me.
Okay, that's great. I like your enthusiasm.
Please, an easy question, okay?
Maybe I'll pick the hardest one for you. Okay. How about this? If you could choose one, just one book, okay, think of a book as a mandatory read for all high school students, which book would you choose? Okay, I'm gonna repeat the question. If you could choose just one book as a mandatory read for all high school students, maybe to stop them from fighting, you know, which book would you choose? Okay, you have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, please start. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think this is a very interesting question for me because I have a what do you call prerogative? Yeah, prerogative because I can choose one book for everyone at high school students. Okay, well, I think if Papatrian write a books, write a books embracing the ignorance, I will endorse this book be should be read for the all students in the high school. You know why? Because students in that age, people say it's labil, right? I don't know how to say it in English. You know, they're not permanently or they're not steady yet because they can be easily influenced by others, by bad thoughts and those kind of things. So to make them stronger, I think embracing the ignorance thing is good, and I got plenty of learning today just because of Papatrian tips. So I will start being ignorant. This is very good. You know, sometimes students at that age taking very seriously what people say about them. So what people say about them, and they don't. So these kind of things will limit their dreams. Yeah, and sometimes they are facing. Udah rap aja. Okay, I think that's it from me. From me. Why? Itu beneran red panjang cepet banget.
That's where I feel also Masidik when I'm talking. I feel like, oh my God, I'm writing so fast.
Thank you, Basidik. By the way, that is a lot of word of the day in your speech. A lot of ignorance in your speech.
Masidik, we have no grammarian to count the word of the day today.
Thank you very much, Basidik. That's a good example, you know. Thank you. So now the rest of us needs to follow your example and use the word of the day more. All right. Okay. So who's next? We have a newcomer. Nadia Mauladina. Hello. Would you like to introduce yourself to us, please?
Sure. First of all, you can just call me Ula, and what else do you want to know?
Okay. So yeah, welcome to the Toastmaster sessions. And right now this is the table topic session. I'm gonna give you a question, and if you're okay to be our next speaker, I would like you to take 10 seconds to think about that question and make a 2-minute speech. Will that be okay with you?
Yeah, sure.
That sounds great. Okay. So the question for you is, okay. Would you rather have less work or more work, but which you actually enjoy doing? I'm going to repeat the question. Would you rather have less work or more work that you actually enjoy doing? Please don't forget to use the word of the day. And you have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so I rather have more work or less work. I actually have some experience in this. Based on my experience, I would rather have more works that I enjoy doing because I'm aware of how it affects my mental health. And when I have less work, I would become a little more crazy, a little more, I don't know, maybe a little more ignorant too, because I simply wouldn't care about anything when I have less work. And I felt like even though I have all the time in the world, I wouldn't know what to do with it. But with a lot of work, especially the one that I enjoy, I think that it would help me become less ignorant, and also it would help me improve just as a person in general. And there's a level of care that I put into my work that simply does not happen when I have less work to do. Also, regarding my mental health, I noticed that when I have less work, it's really damaging for my mental health, because I would feel like I'm very useless, like I've got nothing to contribute to the rest of the work, and that's pretty much it, I guess.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that speech. So, thank you. I find that very insightful, and I gotta say, I kind of connect with you. I think sometimes when we're not so sure what we need to do, it's a bit confusion. And yeah, I agree with you. For me, it's also better if I have more work that I enjoy doing.
Yeah, but
Okay,
only the
thank
work
you.
that I enjoy.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Thank you very much. And again, welcome to the our Toastmaster sessions, and hopefully you can join us for our further future sessions. Okay. So next, maybe Mbak Putri, would you like to be the next speaker?
Yes, bring it on.
All right. Wow, that's such
Yeah.
some confidence. um,
The easy one,
what
please.
if I give you a difficult one?
No, please.
Okay. If you had to teach something, what would you teach and why? Okay. If you had to teach something, what would you teach and why? Okay. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mas Ardin. If I want to teach something, I will teach how to keep the peace, because for me, it's more. I know the world is like not in a good condition. There are a lot of a lot of issues like racism, sexist, and then a lot of issue in the world that we need to avoid, and then we have to teach the young generation to be the peacekeeper. So because now we cannot being ignorant. We live in in the damaged situation, especially in this pandemic era, and we have to be we have to avoid every how to say, we have to avoid every debate. We have to be the peacemaker. So that's from my point of view. It's quick and short, and seriously, it's hard to think in 10 seconds what should I teach and what should I teach it for this entire world. And I just keep on my mind, it's pop up in my mind that, oh, the world is not in a big condition, not in a good condition. So that's it. It's difficult to think in 10 seconds. I'm so sorry, guys. It's so short and quick, and it may not be the perfect speech at all. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mbak
great.
Putri.
That's a good one.
It's a good one. Don't worry. Thank you for your speech. And indeed, you raise a very good point. And you say that the world is not in a good situation right now, but the fact that you're thinking about it, I think that makes you a really wonderful person. So thank you for your speech.
Thank
It's
you, thank
something
you.
that you should teach everyone, to think more about the others, about the world.
Yes, yes.
So that's nice.
Thank you, thank you.
So for our next speaker, um, Mr. Fatrian, would you like to try impromptu speech? Would you like to be our next speaker?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
All right, cool. So my question for you is, if you could live forever, would you want to, and why? Right? If you could live forever, would you want to do that, and why?
If I just say no, you just end it.
Oh well, I think you gotta give a reason why. Why no? All
Try
right.
to make your speech until the green. Otherwise, you won't eligible for best speaker.
Okay. All right. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Ooh. If I live forever, that is actually scary things, because I don't think anyone should have that kind of situation or privilege. But for me, I don't want to have that kind of privilege, because I don't think being immortal is good for you, especially it's almost like saying yourself like a god, because you are kind of everything. You kind of like, it's very difficult to have to ignore, to have those to have those kind of ignorance with the people with the environment around you, because I think one of the good things about human is that there is a limited interaction that you can have, and you can actually be satisfied with just the small space, the small people that is really impacting to you. And by being immortal or live forever, that is actually a huge responsibility as well, because then you need to consider, you need to learn or you need to give the information that you have from the past, make it like learning experience, and for the people that is in the current time, they can actually learn on that and then prevent any of the past mistakes that older people do. So for me, it's I don't think anyone actually can handle that kind of situation. So yeah, that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fatrian. I think that's a very high-level wisdom there. Thank you for your speech. I find it very wise. For me, I'm actually interested to live forever. Because I have an interest in history, and I'm very interested to learn where will humanities go after this. But of course, that's just me. But now that you shared your perspective, indeed, that would be quite a very scary thing to live forever. Oh well. Thank you very much.
I am the same with you, Ardin. I also want to live forever.
Perhaps someday you realize that probably some medicines will be there and make everybody live forever. Or at least probably gonna be more extended for certain more years, probably 100 to 200 years, perhaps.
I'm happy to hear that Basrina want to live forever, because Toastmaster will be forever as well.
That's a good answer, Pak.
Okay, so again, thank you, and it's time for our next speaker. Madam Mbak Junita have been here for some time now. Would you like to be our next speaker? Hello, Mbak Junita. Oh, maybe she's away. Hello? Okay. Maybe we try Pak Firza. Would you like to be our next speaker? Pak Firza? Hello? Ah, he's also away. Okay. How about you, Mbak Chelsea? Hello, Mbak Chelsea? Hello? Wow, okay.
People.
I'm not on mute, right? Okay. Okay, then that leaves us with our final member here, Mr. Vico. Pak Vico, would you like to be our next speaker?
Yeah, I try.
Oh, that's great.
Yay,
That's
Pak
great.
Viko, I will call you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Busrina. So, Pak Vico, I'm going to give you a question now.
Yes.
My question is it more important to do what you love or to love what you are doing? Okay. Is it more important to do what you love or to love what you're doing? Okay. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I think both is important. Yeah. To do what I love, it means that I will I will express myself to do what with all of my effort, the best effort I will do because it's what I love. I think this is the reason for the first situation, and to love what to do is also important because it means that this is my hobby. My hobby means to make me happy, and it's to make me wants to do more and more because I love it to do, and I'm sure that this is also will be the best effort I will do, and the both is important. And what else? Yeah, to do what I love, to love what I do. Yeah, I think a little bit similar. Yeah, the result is similar. Yeah, I will do with my effort, and the result will be the best of mine, and the impact also will be the best for others. This is for important. So what I do is the best for others and give the positive impact for others, and hope others will do the same for another one. So we will give the chain effect to the my neighborhood, my society, and to my family. I think that's all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Paviko. That's very nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, I tend to agree with what you're saying. Thank you for your insights. So I think you are the last speaker, unless either Pak Firza, hello, Mbak Junita, or Chelsea, would you like to try?
Yeah, I would try.
Okay.
My speech.
Okay, that's great. Hello, Mbak Junita.
Hello.
Hello. That's great. My question for you is, could you share what is the most defining moment of your life thus far? Okay. Again, the question is, what is the most defining moment of your life so far? And you have 10 seconds to think. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Actually, in 10 seconds to contemplate the most defining moment in my life is such a difficult question for me, but I'll try with what comes in my mind right now. The most defining moment that I can think of right now is when I I did volunteer for the less fortunate, I would say less fortunate people that around where I live. That I used to think that because I live in the not capital city, but like this in the city, so I don't think that like around my environment are the people who because I thought that since schools are free, I thought that everybody could have access for school. It would be easier for them to be educated. But um, after I joined this community, I become more surrounded by people that actually they are immigrant and they didn't have um, ID card, so it would because they don't have birth certificate, so it'd be difficult for them to go to school. So because they immigrate from Timor Leste, so like they are uh, they actually help their parents to they sell vegetables in the market. So that's when I realized that I have actually took taken everything for granted because I thought that in such era, I mean in my environment, there's no people like that. But I since that I decided to focus more on education and help them volunteer to help them educate themselves. And one of my friends actually helped the parents to to um, to register them to the I forget the word for this penduk, but yeah, we help the parents to get their ID too, so they get their birth certificate and their kids could go to school. So for me, that was the most defining moment in my life to help other people get what I've already taken for granted, which is the opportunity to to get my other people educated. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mbak Junita. I think that's a very wonderful life story there. I Was it something like a very uh life changes event back then?
Sorry.
Does it feel like a life-changing event back then when you were volunteering there?
Yes, it did. Actually, I feel that uh, it's such a change. I started to see things differently. That I feel that when we help other people, we actually helping ourselves to feel better. So yeah, it was one of the most changing experience that I've ever had.
That's very wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Mas
very much.
Arjun. Thank you for letting me speak.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you. So I see that we are joined by Ibu Mulyati. Hello. Would you like to be our final speaker, Bu Mulyati?
I don't think I don't think I think I would rather to be take participant for a while, just like this.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
probably we have to invite Pak Irwan here. No?
He says he's busy today.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
next time.
Yeah, because also I saw that a kind of what we call that a brain storming in the group. So it's a nice
Yeah.
exchange of ideas between Ibu Mulyati and Pak Irwan. That's a wonderful thing.
Yes, agree with you, Mr. Yus.
Yeah. Probably we can invite them here to discuss further for everything.
Mau di-mute.
Okay. I'm gonna ask for the final time. Pak Firza, would you like to be our next speaker? Okay. Or Mbak Chelsea, would you like to be our final speaker? Hello. Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Mbak Chelsea, you have to speak louder.
Suaranya kedengeran nggak sekarang? Kalau sekarang?
Yes. We can hear you. I can hear you. Yes.
I can hear you though very low volume though.
I'll try.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So I'm going to give you a question. I think this will be an interesting question. If you had to be someone else for one day, who would you be and why? Okay, I'm going to repeat the question. Yes, if you had to be someone else for one day, who would you be and why? Okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Maybe I would like to be like, it's a difficult question. It is between myself and somebody else that maybe we know and I've been adored so much, like Oprah Winfrey, or maybe like Mother Teresa, because they, despite of ignorance, they give to the world such a great example how to do make a great changes in everyone, in every people lives, because sometimes this world needs somebody that maybe care about somebody else, but also they also give the example of like how to give all of them to the world, like but sorry, yeah, maybe, yeah, that's they are a good example of people's, like for how we'll need to live, and also for how to make a difference. And that's why I want to be myself also, because by the example of them, I want to like make the best of me, so I can give to, first of all, to the closest family, friends, the very best of me, and also to the world, and also make difference. Yeah, maybe like that. I'm sorry if I'm not really good speech.
but that's my opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you very much, Masasi. I think that's a wonderful speech. You picked some very specific examples, um, Oprah and Mother Teresa, right? So
Yes.
I think you're trying to tell us how important those two figures are to you and the world, and thank you for sharing that with us. It's very interesting.
Thank you also. Thank you also for the
Okay,
opportunities.
of course, of course. So I guess we are reaching the end of our table topic session, and I thank you, each and every one of you, for the wonderful speeches, for the insights, for the life stories that you've shared, and hopefully we can share more with each other on our subsequent Toastmaster sessions. So I really enjoy this. Thank you, everyone. For our next session, I will invite our general evaluator to open the evaluation session. Would you please take over, Madam Serena?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ardin, for leading us with the table topic session. I am very glad to see that almost all participants for today can participate in that session. I learned so much from you. And so, before I go on with my general evaluation and my team, I would like to invite our personal evaluator. For the first one, I will call Mr. Ardin as the personal evaluator for Mr. Siddiq as our first prepared speech, as our first prepared speaker. Okay, Mr. Ardin, are you ready to give your personal evaluation?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
As for the personal evaluator, your time is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, Mr. Fico will give you green, and then 2:30 yellow, and at 3 minutes red. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, your time will start now. Mr. Fico, please help me with the timer.
All right. So I'm going to evaluate the first prepared speech by our president, Pak Siddiq, and the speech title is "Ignorance Can Kill." So my general comment about the speech is that Pak Siddiq have delivered a very insightful speech, very calmly. He's very confident and comfortable in telling his story, so that's really great. And on the other hand, though, I think everyone can benefit from some improvements. Okay, all of us are open for rooms for growth, and I think in this aspect, Pacific, I think it will be great if you can improve on your gestures and also in your interaction with the audience. Okay, so we have several metrics here: clarity, vocal variety, and so on. I'm gonna provide you with your with my evaluation. For clarity, I think you did fantastic. You're delivering your speech very calmly and very clear. For vocal variety, I think you're doing okay too. Eye contact, you made good eye contact with the audience. Now for the gestures, as I mentioned, I think it will be great if you can use more hand gestures or perhaps shake it up a little bit, when you okay. Okay. And then there's the audience awareness. This is the part I think it will be great if you can interact more with the audience. Okay, try to get them more engaged. Comfort level, I think you're very comfortable in delivering your speech, so that's really great. You're very calm, you're very stable in speaking. Interest, what you're delivering, your topic is for me, it's very interesting. You mentioned a couple of very insightful and interesting matters. Delivery, you are delivering a very good speech. And the last point is engage. So it would be great if you can be more engaging to your audience. Maybe add in a little bit of humor here and there. That's just my input. A little bit of humor, or maybe a little bit of questions. But overall, I think you have delivered a fantastic speech. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Hello, Busrina. I'm done.
So sorry. Okay, thank you, Ardeen, for that wonderful evaluation speech. Right now, I will call Pak Siddiq, who's going to evaluate Mr. Fatrian's speech, Embracing Ignorance. Pak Siddiq, are you ready to evaluate Mr. Fatrian?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, remember your time is 2 to 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Okay, Pak Fatrians, actually I envy you because I think your speech is much better than mine, and you got a green time. Yeah, it is an exact time. So how can you do that? So my general evaluation for you actually, I don't have a bad comment for you because you did very great. Especially this is your first time, and what you should do more, I think, maybe because you need to have more eye contact because we are now in the video conference. I think you should more look at the camera. You look at the camera because it seems like you're more reading the text for me. I don't know. Is it true? It's true or not? But it seems like that. Overall, it's very good. And I will go through one by one for the criteria for the matrix. Your clarity is very good. It's very exemplary because the topic is good and the way you deliver it is also very clear. And the vocal is good as well. Maybe you need some variety of tones there if you want to make it more perfect. It's already perfect, but if you want to make it more perfect. Eye contact, I already mentioned it. Gestures, maybe gestures. Yes, you need to have a hand gestures like what Ardeen comment to my speech. Yeah, hand gestures like an Indian. Okay. Audio awareness is very good as well because the topic itself is very interesting. I once laughed at one point when you mentioned something, or I think this is very relate to me. So especially when I know that your topic and your content is very opposite to my topic and the way I see of ignorance. Ignorance for me is kind of a negative, like, but you make it more positive, right? Okay. The way you delivery is very tactful, and so I think I need to, imitate the way you do. Engaging. Yeah, I think you only need more eye contact, but you did some Hey, it's red again, yeah. Okay, I think that's it from me. Okay, it's very good for you, and no, that's good, great for Patrians. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Mas Sidik. Sorry, Mas Sidik, because it's so funny because we tend to speak over time, yeah, Mas Sidik, because we have so many things to say. Because we tend to help our fellow Toastmaster, right? We have to see the silver lining behind everything. Okay, we have listened to our two evaluator, and I congratulate them for their evaluation because they were very good at delivering it. Now I will call the counter, Mr. Fatrian, to give his report. Mr. Fatrian, are you ready?
Yeah. So how should I actually, can I show my screen or how?
It's okay. You can share your screen, or you can say, for example, for me, Srina, you make so many but you tend to repeat this certain word, this certain word, this certain word.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So first is for Pak Sidik for his prepared speech. So I counted 11 filler words, words, and also just one so, and 5 repeats. Yeah, and the other filler words, 3 of it that I've counted, and then for his short answer speech, there is fewer of that. 6 filler words, 1 well, 2 so, and then repeats. And also for his evaluation, there is 4 words, and then 2 repeats. So basically, the general feedback for Pak Sidik is try to reduce the hours, and also try to be more tactful regarding the repeats. And then for Ardin, during his personal evaluation, is there is a 3 of it, and then there is a repeats 4 counts. Next is Pak Ilviko. Pak Ilviko, there is a words, and so there are total 9 filler words and 5 repeats. Pak Yustian, there is a very few filler words, and like is only 1, but a lot of repeats, 7 of it, so probably need to improve on that repeat. Bu Srina, I think you got the best score for this counter. So only 1 well, and then only 1 repeats. And then Kak Celsia, some filler words. There are 3 some and also 8 of it. There is a lot of but and like as well. I think you mentioned a lot regarding but so that's something that hurts you during your speech. And then Bu Junita, 5 of it, and then repeats as well. Similar to Bu Selsi, but is something that probably you need to improve. Ibu Nadia, 3 and then 6 repeats. Bu Nugrahani Kartika Putri is 6 5 repeats. And then yeah, that's all. So basically just the repeats. I think one of the generally is our mistakes here in our group. So thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fatrian, for giving us a very thorough explanation. Okay, so let's move on to our timer. Mr. Alfico,
Okay.
Fico,
Yeah. Thank
are
you.
you ready, sir?
Yeah, ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
For the first speaker, Mr. Siddiq, he takes 8 minutes and 10 seconds. So 2 minutes and 10 seconds exit. And the second speaker, Mr. Fatrian, is 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So still in the green. And the next, Mr. Ius, about 100 seconds. Yeah. So 2 minutes plus 10 seconds. So 100 seconds is still in green. And Miss Rina, 2 minutes and 55 seconds. So 55 seconds exist. And then Miss Nadia. Nadia is 1 minute and 45 seconds. Miss Putri, exactly 2 minutes. Mr. Fatrian, 100 seconds. Still in green also. Miss Junita, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. 45 second exist. And Miss Celsia, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And the last, Mr. Ardin, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And Mr. Siddiq, 3 minutes and 45 seconds. That's all my reports. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Ilfico, I have tried to rewrote your explanation, your report in the chat box. Could you please review it and correct me if I make any mistake? I think I make mistake on Fatrian because you said 100 seconds. 100 seconds means 1 minute 40 seconds, right? So I think I have mistake there. So Fatrian is 1 minute 40 seconds. 40 yes. Okay. So if you have any correction, just please type on the chat box, okay, sir? So
okay.
Because I will need it for us to choose the best speaker.
Okay, I will check.
Okay. Okay, and you can type it in the chat box, okay, sir? Okay, I will move on with the general evaluation. Thank you so much, Mr. Ilfico, for your report. And thank you so much for all of you who comes to today's meeting. I am the general evaluator for today, so my duty is to take notes on everything that happens and that doesn't happen during the meeting. So my job is to evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observations, and performance of duties. Okay, so bear with me. First of all, I have to say sorry for all of the participants because the meeting started late. We, as the ex-coach of this Toastmasters Club, should learn more how to be on time, how to start the meeting in a proper time, in a proper time, yes. But I love the way the ex-coach welcome the guests upon arrival. So we're not really too stiff and really textbook in doing this meeting. And we make sure that every guest is welcome to the meeting. We also already informed about this meeting a couple days before the meeting exists, also about the meeting format. And As for our presidents, as always, Mr. Siddiq has been very supportive. And for today's meeting, he also delivered his prepared speech. Congratulations, Mr. Siddiq. And for today's meeting, we have Mr. Ardin as our Toastmaster of the day, which was doing it like a pro. Seriously, Ardin, you did it as if you already being a Toastmaster of the day for so many times. I'm very proud of you, and I would love to see more of you. And also about other people who take roles in this meeting, I have to say thank you very much to Mr. Fatrian and Mr. Ilfico, because you've done your job so well. I cannot believe it, because you are, I mean, this is your first time, right? This is your first time, but you already did it so well. I am so proud for both of you. And congratulate again for Mr. Fatrian. Even though this is your first time, you were so brave and you took the challenge to bring your first prepared speech. You know, prepared speech is one of the biggest challenge in Toastmaster, because human tends to procrastinate. But I don't know about you, Mr. Patrian. I didn't see it in you. You know, I don't see it in you. So, I think you prepared your speech very well. You convey your message very well. And even though you're a newbie here, you set the bar quite high for us. And for that, we thank you. And Mr. Ilfico, I feel so honored to know you, because listening from your, what you do nowadays, you have so many study program with your PhD, and then your study in Universitas Terbuka, and then here you are in your people with us, but still wants to participate in this meeting. Wow. Sir, you are just amazing. You gave us an example that when we care about something, we give time for it. Even though we're so busy, but when we care about something, we give time for it. So thank you, sir, for being here with us. And thank you to everyone who participated in the table topic speech. Don't worry about the time. We might not be eligible for the best speaker, because we tend to speak over time, like me. But the important thing about Toastmasters that we are brave enough to speak. We encourage you to make mistake here, because we believe we can learn from mistake, and practice makes perfect. I am so proud that everyone who's taking role has been doing it very well. I am so proud seeing all the participants participate very well. And I don't want to miss the word of the day. I am so happy that I do not see everyone ignore the word of the day, ignorance. It's been said so many times. As I personally believe that ignorance is a bliss, as I personally believe with what Mr. Patrian said, that we should embrace ignorance, but I also agree with Pak Siddiq, and just want to remind you that even though this meeting is going to end soon, please don't be ignorant, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. Thank you. Back to you, Adin.
Thank you very much, Madam Serena. That is truly a wonderful evaluation. Thank you for your awesome work as general evaluator, and of course, especially for the nice words you say to each and every one of us. So I guess this is the end of the session. And I I'm really happy we get to spend time together, and we get to spend such a meaningful session. We learn a lot from everyone. We share each other's stories, and we practice our speeches. And I do hope that we can all join again for the subsequent Toastmaster sessions. So um, before I close this
We still have to
session,
choose the
is
best
there?
speaker.
Yes, yes.
Don't
Oh my
forget
God, I
to
forgot.
choose for the best speaker.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, we do have to vote for a best speaker first. So there will be three categories of speaker. The first one is the category of best prepared speaker. Second is
Um,
the best table topic, and the third is for the evaluation.
okay, so
So yeah, please continue. You
yes,
will say something.
for the prepared speech speaker, unfortunately, Mr. Siddiq is not eligible because his time is 8 minutes. I am so sorry, Mr. Siddiq. So it leaves us with Mr. Fatrian, who will be selected automatically. Yay! Okay. So for the evaluator, for the evaluation session, we have Mr. Ardin and Mr. Siddiq. They no, Mr. Siddiq also do not eligible for the evaluation speech because his time is 3 minutes and 45 minutes. We can only allow 30 seconds. 30 seconds, yeah. So he is overtime around 15 seconds. And so the evaluation best speaker goes to Mr. Ardin. Yay! Okay, and for the table topic speaker, I have wrote down in the chat box, we have 4 candidates. We have Mr. Iyus, we have Mbak Nadia, we have Mbak Putri, and we have Mas Patrian. So for this best table topic speaker, please send your vote to me, and then I will inform Mas Ardin who is going to be the best speaker for table topics. Okay, from those 4 people only. Okay, send it to me now.
Okay. Okay, so we have a winner, and turns out the best table topic speaker for today is Madam Nadia Mauladina.
Yay!
Round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So for all the
Congratulations,
winner,
Madam.
can say they word like short speech, very short speech to all of us to inspire all of us, please.
First of all, thank you. I'm not sure what to say because I'm not actually good at this speaking stuff. So I hope that if I ever get the chance to join the Toastmasters again, I will improve my speech in general, not just in English, but also in Indonesian in my native language, because I'm not so good at that either. So I just hope that we'll continue to improve. And for some of us who hasn't got the chance to speak, maybe because they're not confident enough, or mostly because they're not confident enough, I hope that will be brave enough to try next time. And that's it. Thank you again.
Thank you. And Mr. Ardin, please say your short speech for being the best evaluation speaker.
I'm not sure what to say, and I said that again. I think it's very important to keep on learning and improve ourselves for this occasion. And what I'm trying to say is it's very important to continuously improve our speaking techniques, our speech, because public speaking is not only for fun or leisure activities. Actually something that can benefit you and can provide you real benefits in your work, in your maybe volunteer activities, or in your real life basically. So everyone keeps on improving and never stop learning. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Adin, maybe you can ask Mr. Fatri. I forgot who's the MC. So sorry, Mr. Adin.
It's okay. Okay, Mr. Fatrian, would you like to give one or two words about anything?
Well, thank you. There's an so yeah, thank you for first of all to letting me letting me join this wonderful session. I get to know a lot of you, and it's a very, very interesting, very excellent learning opportunities that I can have. So hopefully that we can continue this along, for as long as we can. If we all live together, then probably that is something that we can, at least we can grow together by learning this. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, so I guess that's everyone, and we already did the best speaker session too. So thank you everyone, and especially thank you Busrina too for your continuous support and advice. Oh my god, there's a lot of ums. I'm hoping to see each and every one of you in our future sessions. Okay, we are learning online. We do not get the chance to interact with a lot of people because of our current situation, the world's current situation. That's why I'm hoping that we can have more of this kind of sessions, this kind of activities. So in another 2 weeks, we'll be having our next Toastmaster session. Hopefully that we can get together again, and hopefully there will be more people joining. So thank you very much, Mr. and Madam Toastmasters, and of course thank you very much our President, Sidik. So hope that we can meet again in 2 weeks. Bye everyone. Thank you.
Shall we take pictures?
Yep, that sounds great.
Group picture.
By the way,
Okay.
can I express something about,
Sure, Mr. Ius.
about our meeting? I don't know. What about? Well, it's a little bit static. Is it? I mean, is it not better that we will ask everybody to always switch on the microphone so that it will feel more live? But probably the argument to that would be a little bit too noisy, right? But it sounds it's too quiet. Am I right? Does anyone feel the same thing? Or
Yeah,
is it good enough?
I can understand where you're coming from, Mr. Ius. So I haven't joined any Toastmasters meeting outside our club. So I don't know if they turn on their mic also or not.
I don't know
maybe
which one is better. I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Yeah. Maybe I will learn about it first. I will try to join another Toastmasters club during this pandemic. Oh, I did once join my company's Toastmasters meeting, and it's in we use Teams for the platform, and yes, all mics are off. But I do agree with you that we can make these sessions more alive. I do agree with you because in the real Toastmasters meeting, actually the session is always feel alive.
Yeah. Because probably we need some more interactions, some more expression on that, so that everybody will not feel what we call that, some unnecessary feeling when nobody responded to their probably a kind of joke or something. No one seems that laugh on that. Probably, well, it's just a personal opinion that probably we have to just switch it on and it makes it more alive. That's all.
Totally agree with you. For example, when Fatrian tried to convey a joke in his speech, he won't be able to hear anyone's laughing at his speech. So probably it would make him, I don't know, but if it's me, I would feel a little bit down, like no one is laughing at my joke, you know.
Hey, I was laughing and I told him. I was laughing
exactly. Probably in the background, right? We are silencing in the background. We laugh too much, but then it was not expressed in the meeting itself.
So it's actually okay if you guys want to turn on your mic. It's okay, but do be aware that things might happen outside your things that you don't want to happen can happen. Like previously when Pasidik tried to deliver his speech, and then I said to my daughter, because my daughter was kissing my feet, you know, she likes kissing my feet, and so I told her, stop it. Stop it, my feet is dirty. I forgot to turn off my mic when I said it. So I kind of disturbing Pasidik concentration because I could see his face like going, you know, like questioning what sound is that. So, but if you are sure that you can control your environment, like you are in a quiet room, and you are sure that no one is going to disturb your microphone, I think it's okay to turn on your mic. And I truly agree with you, Mr. Ius. Actually, the table topic session is the place where we all can participate in this meeting and make it more alive.
Yeah, probably everybody are encouraged to have some candid comment on that. So probably in the table topic session, it would be great to encourage everyone to switch on the mic so it will feel more live, something like that.
Yes. And in the real meeting, it's okay to comment on everyone's speak. So it's not always the Toastmasters of the day. It's not always the evaluator. It's not always the general evaluator. You can comment. So if you think you have something to say, just turn on your mic and say it. Yes, it will be a great opportunity for you to say something on your mind and actually say it with your mouth. So it's not a practice for you, right? So feel free next time on the next session, and we will try to make it more fun, but still informative, acknowledge. There will be all elements in the next session. We will try to do it. And thank you so much, Mr. Ius, for your input. I personally very appreciate that.
And one more thing, especially with the Ardeen questions, that is a very great questions, Ardeen. That's a wonderful questions. It will really teach us how to what we call that, express or state or what we call practice yourself when probably you have an interview experience, because some of that question will be in some interview probably. It is a very spontaneous question, and
yes.
To practice on that.
Ardeen always did a great job. Ardeen always did a great job.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Right. Thank you.
So if you have if there's anyone else who wants to give us input, please do. We are listening to you. Like Mr. Ius, we would know how you feel about this meeting if you don't communicate it with us. Okay? Thank you so much.
Okay, so again, thank you very much. And I guess we'll be seeing each other in 2 weeks then.
Hey,
the group photo, the group photo. Who's
group
taking the
pictures,
group
please.
photo?
Who's taking the group pictures? Because I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Okay, please smile. 1, 2.
Kenapa?
Oh, belum. Oke.
Harus open cam dong.
Oh iya. Mbak Nadia, Mbak Juanita, do you want to open your cam?
Please open your cam.
Please.
Express yourself, people.
Yay. Okay. Oh. Okay,
Is
ready?
it done?
Ready?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I send it to the group.
Okay, thank you very much. For
Thank
the
you.
committee, yeah, pengurus,
Yes,
can we have a couple of minutes?
Sure, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye,
Thank you
everyone.
very much, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Mr. Yus, you're the committee. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, okay, bro. I'll be here. I'll be here.
I think you forget that you are committee, right?
Yeah, sorry, guys. Okay.
Okay. Let's start for the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you very much for you guys, especially Mbak Srina and Ardin, for being proactive for these sessions, and it was really good. The only one bad is me because I feel very bad when I delivering my speech.
All of us practicing, right? So
it's even worse than the previous one, I think.
You are improving, Pak, for sure.
Okay. I think we need to show to others that we already have a committee, and we need to tell to them what is our plan for the TMC, and maybe especially for our programs from Pardins. You are the education, right, Pardin? And Putih is from the campaign, right?
Yep.
What do we call the
public relations?
The public relations.
Yeah.
And the secretary is Mbak Rahmi, and Mas Yus is Bendahara, ya?
Oh yeah, Treasury. Thank you, Bu Srina.
Kalingkong, Mas Yus as with Kalingkong.
Yes, Pak Firza, do you still remember your... Hi. Pak Firza apa ya? Lupa.
I don't remember, I just a member.
Yes, man.
Mr. Firza is VP membership.
Nah, membership,
yeah.
right? Okay. And we have Dominic here. Okay. Are we complete now? No, yeah?
No, we don't have Mbak Rahmi.
Oh, only Mbak Rahmi. Okay, as a secretary. Now, I think it's time. Actually, we are going to register our organization formally on June, but it's already late. Maybe if we have a plan, maybe we can see the timeline for the next registration, right? For especially for the what is it? Promotion. Kemarin ada promosinya kan kalau nggak salah. Yang nah, mungkin cari lagi yang promosinya itu. Tapi sampai dengan saat itu, we were supposed to have already the minimum members, right? Waktu itu 25 participants, right? Members. Okay. Nah mungkin itu aja goals pendek kita. goal pendek kita yang pertama. Jadi bagaimana kita cara how to achieve that, mungkin mulai dari how to campaign yang program kita ini. Sepertinya walaupun kita udah lumayan menjual di grup WA kita, tapi kita tahu maksimumnya kayaknya kemarin the best one is cuma 15 ya. Not more than that ya kayak kemarin. The berapa sih? So I think we need to go more public. So that's why maybe for the next sessions in the next 2 weeks mungkin kita udah mulai pakai flyer kali. So what do you think? Itu sih mulai dari gua. Terus mungkin kalau untuk program kayak gimana tuh? Aku masih belum punya ide kecuali cuma sesi kayak tadi aja. Mungkin bisa dari Mbak Srina sama Pak Ardin, teman-teman semua bisa kasih komen, silakan ya aja. Pak Firza membership, ayo get member dikasih duit loh.
Betul. Okay. The problem is for right now that we always have new participant in every hour of our meetings. Yes. But then the next meeting, we got a new one, and then the previous one just not coming again. Yes. So that's the point that we should solve this problem. How to solve it? How to maintain that the person who comes for the next meeting, we can assure ourselves that he will come or she will come. How to do that? That's the point, I think.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay.
What can we offer to them when they came for the first time, and then we can assure them to come again, to join again in the next meeting? How?
Money. The job of the treasurer.
Yeah.
What do you mean with that? What do you mean with that? Is it serious or just joke? Okay. So, but probably we have to just remind ourselves also that, well, it is a process. Of course, we have to do something, but the fundamental things is we just need to make it what we call it as frequent as possible. Probably as much as possible, we do not skip every 2 weekly. So the problem of people who just one on and off, probably, well, it is fine at all. At least all of us, the committee will always be there, right? Yeah. So I think by the time, well, some people will always be there, I think. But I don't know whether we can kind of added some new program. Perhaps somebody will share something in the every hour meeting. I don't know, which probably will attract people to come. I don't know. Yeah. Probably a person, for example, that somebody like Pa Irwan. Pa Irwan, I think, has some project, has personal project, and then probably he want to share in our meeting. We can allow him to do that. I don't know. Is it a part of the Toastmaster, or we should separate it in a different kind of meeting after Toastmaster or something? I don't know. I just throwing an idea, people.
Okay. Okay. Can I give an idea?
Yeah.
Normally kan we make the invitation itu kayak tulisan-tulisan aja gitu kan. Terus kalau aku lihat di situ banyak young generation, mungkin mereka kayak speech udah gitu aja, gini-gini nggak seru gitu ya. Coba kalau aku buat banner, nanti misalkan ada next 2 weeks nih kita mau buat lagi. Nanti aku bikin aja, bikin kayak pamflet gitu, terus ya lebih supaya mereka tuh ada lihat gambar juga, lihat visual, nggak lihat tulisan aja gitu. Jadi mungkin coba dulu, hope it works.
Yeah, I believe so. It will work. And the other things, beside making the pamphlet, things like banner. And then the second one, this is not a short time. We can do it at a bit longer. So the promotion is longer than what we have just done for this meeting. It is only 3 or 4 days. It is better if we make it maybe in a week. Okay, a week period to promote this event, the next event. So in the next event, we can attract more member with banner and the texting. Okay, that's the good one. Also inviting someone who has a special thing to discuss. It is good too. I use that's a very brilliant idea.
So we make the Toastmaster session as complementary to something speaking session for anyone who have interesting ideas or interesting thing to share, right? So we kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Probably they have some personal project which they want to share, something like that. We can ask them to present that in front of us, right? So why not? Why not of doing it? I don't know.
I think it's like a guest speaker, I think, or maybe keynote speaker like that for about 4 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, I think that is a very good idea because over time in our WhatsApp group, there are some interesting topics that came up. Back then people talk about investment, and there are some people who such as Putih, who have some knowledge on investment, and we could all learn from. So these kind of sessions will attract people, hopefully, and after that we can also get them to come join us for our Toastmaster session while you're already here or something like that. But we do have to work on our timing. We have to be more on time and more prepared.
That's valid, because like today we already start from 2 at 2, but there's still 2 of us, like me and Mbak Srina, and then after that Pak Fatrian is himself. But then people slowly coming in. Yeah, it's our. I don't know. Is that because of our Indonesia or not?
No.
Yeah, because people also have their own agenda, right? But if they feel that if this kind of meeting is not to be escaped, not to be skipped, probably it's a different thing. Probably that is our duty to make this as interesting as possible.
I think Saturday is kind of issue because some of the members of our UoPeople Merah Putih, they're still at their working days. Yeah, on Saturday. Is it possible that if we do it on Monday? No, sorry, on Sunday.
But Sunday is also church day, right? For many.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, but I don't think that they are going to church. But I don't know, maksudnya kondisional gitu loh, kan bisa di streaming jam berapa aja gitu.
Oh, okay.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I have an idea for next topic, for next guest speaker. This is not a guest speaker, I believe. We can have kind of opinion, idea, or story from someone who just graduate from UoPeople.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Like Pak Yus.
Pak Yus.
Aku udah kelamaan graduate-nya. Ada Elina kemarin, siapa yang baru graduate itu? There's somebody who are younger. Probably yang tua-tua di skip aja lah ya.
Bisa aja.
Oke, I'll share. Kayaknya ada, dia pernah ngobrol.
Ya, kayaknya ada tuh yang bilang.
Ya, I'll share.
Mas Sidik itu udah lulus ya?
Katanya satu lagi.
Kayaknya in progress ya.
No.
I think Ibu Srina want to say something just now.
Yes. Aku pakai bahasa Indonesia aja ya. Aku capek ngomong pakai bahasa Inggris. Yes. Jadi ini sebelum teman-teman, aku bukannya mau mematahkan semangat kita semua ya, gitu. Tapi aku nih semakin tua, semakin realistis orangnya, ya kan.
Asik.
Jadi tadi waktu Mas Firza ngomong seperti itu pun aku notice, ya kan. Kecuali untuk ekskos itu artinya pengurus. Kecuali untuk ekskos, aku nggak ngelihat ada member yang secara konsisten datang ke meeting kita, gitu. Alasannya bisa berbagai macam, tapi aku ngerasa ada 2 alasan besar kalau aku ngelihat ya. Yang pertama itu adalah they think that speaking is too hard, gitu loh. Karena orang kebanyakan, apalagi orang Indonesia, ya kan, apalagi yang tidak merasa bahwa speaking in front of public with speaking English in front of public is important for them, mereka biasanya nggak ambil kesempatan itu. Kecuali mereka misalnya nih memang punya keinginan untuk self-development atau memang bekerja di bidang yang mengharuskan mereka banyak berbicara dalam bahasa Inggris, mereka biasanya nggak mengambil kesempatan itu. So Toastmasters is really segmented banget Toastmasters. Mereka fokus di leadership and public speaking. So for people who doesn't have any interest on those 2 subjects, they don't follow Toastmasters. Gitu. Nah, sedangkan tadi Mas Ius ngomongin itu menurut aku apalagi untuk usia anak kuliahan yang baru masuk nih, ya kan, sulit sekali untuk bisa meng-keep satu member untuk tetap datang kecuali memang mereka sangat peduli sama self development-nya mereka. Walaupun mereka kuliah di universitas luar negeri. Karena kita writing, kita nggak pernah di-challenge speaking, right? In UoPeople. Jadi sebenarnya kalau misalnya idenya teman-teman itu masih bisa ditampung dalam Toastmaster. Jadi ada meeting-meeting yang tidak reguler disebut dengan educational speech. Jadi hal seperti misalnya proyeknya Pak Irwan, terus kemudian misalnya Mas Sidik mau menyampaikan tentang forex, itu bisa jadi satu sesi namanya sesi education, sesi edukasi, ya kan? Nah, terus kemudian di situ kita ubah konsepnya menjadi Q&A atau discussion, ya kan? Tapi kemudian kita harus mengeliminir the prepared speech, ya kan? Dan kemungkinan juga table topic. Nah, itu bisa dilakukan biasanya kalau di luar di Toastmasters meeting yang lain itu educational speech itu selalu yang berhubungan dengan leadership dan public speaking. So if we're going to make it differently, I think it's okay karena kita belum official jadi Toastmasters. Nah, terus kemudian informasi yang lain lagi adalah masa promonya sudah selesai. So if we want to charter a club, we have to pay $125 in advance, and every